本日のイベントはどちらかといいますと、日本国内のパーム油の流通が話の中心となる予定ではありますが、その前に一番上流となりますパーム油の生産者が油やし栽培の現場でどのような取り組みをなさっているのか、コロンビアのダーボングループより先進事例をご報告いただきたいと思います。ダーボングループはコロンビアのパーム油生産者ですが、 RSPO 設立当初から積極的に参画されており、現在オーガニックかつ RSPO 認証のパーム油の生産を実現させています。それではダーボングループを代表してマヌエル・アルベルト・ダビラ様より事例報告パーム油生産と RSPO への取り組みと題してご報告をいただきたいと思います。それではダビラ様、どうぞ演台の方へお願いいたします。ご準備が整いますまで今しばらくお待ちくださいませ。
Good morning. Today, I come to you as a farmer, a grower, an environmentalist, a businessman, a millennial, a family member, and a father-to-be. My name is Manuel Alberto Davila. I'm the third generation of the Davila Bondano family, the founding family of the Daabon group. I stand here to tell you our story, the stories and the teachings of my ancestors that have lived off the fertile lands of Colombia for the last 100 years, in the humble hope that our story will encourage you and others to help us build a strong social and environmentally responsible case for this versatile and generous crop. Our story dates back to 1914, when the first United Fruit Company came of interest into northern territories of Colombia for banana plantations. It was this that opened the opportunity for my great-grandfather to start the banana business in growing and selling them. This bonanza lasted until 1966, when the company decided to leave due to harsh weather conditions and the recognition of labor rights of unionized workers. It was at this point that the farmers left behind decided to diversify into other crops, to palm oil. And thus, the journey for many families, including my own, began its palm agriculture history. Several decades later, my grandfather and his sons took the innovative approach of starting a low-chemical initiative in farming techniques, which led to the establishment of our company's philosophy. It was, for us, a way to offer a differentiator and to enter the US and the European markets. By 1992, Daabon was able to implement a full set of organic standards that helped us build a successful organic food and ingredients business. Considering the lack of installed capacity or knowledge, we decided to vertically integrate with the ports and international offices so we could expand our business into Japan with the first exports in 1999. The global organic market for organic palm oil grew steadily. So we adopted a government-introduced program called the Productive Alliance for Peace, also known as the Alliance. Our aim was to generate interaction in between the local smallholders and companies to promote agriculture in territories that have been struck by violence. Our challenge at the time was not only to generate trust and manage capacities, but a model without the use of pesticides or synthetic fertilizers. Our strategic goal was to grow throughout the encouragement of human development for our communities and protect the retention of land ownership for for their future generations. We committed to the transfer of our company know-how and management to support the co-ops, and acting as a collateral when banks could not see a bright future to our business allies. Lastly, Daabon located collection points in strategic areas and fast payment methods for regional best prices to assure fidelity. This initiative has been of great success, bringing commercial independence and productivity to rural families that have joined the program. Today, we can proudly say that we have 200 families with 3,500 hectares in this program. By the year 2000, we continued on to a vertical integration and built a refinery, which we soon had to expand with a fractionation plant and a solids fats line. By the end of 2007, the Colombian government invested itself in developing a robust biofuel policy, both in ethanol and biodiesel, as part of the ongoing effort to end the 50-year-old civil war Colombia has been suffering from. We supported this program by commissioning a biodiesel plant using esterification technology. By the year 2010, it was a very important one for us. Daabon and its smallholders became the first South American company to be RSPO identity preserved certified throughout its supply chain. Later that year, we launched a Clean Development Mechanism project under the United Nations Framework for Climate Change Convention to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions and minimize our carbon footprint. Our smallholders were not left out of this. We worked with the Wharton School of Business at Penn State to set up an organization where these families could access their funds in proportion to their fruit production. We call this the Fair Trade CDM initiative. This methane recapture project quickly evolved into our current self-generation energy company, which provided biogas to our generators that feed the mill, and also the national grid, supplying electricity to some rural parts of Colombia. The following year, we also began manufacturing and sustainable soap and glycerin, which allowed us to expand into the cosmetics industry. Our commitment towards sustainability was kept strong with the trust of RSPO. And in 2013, we decided to co-found the Palm Oil Innovation Group, POIG for short, together with other industry players and NGOs. The aim is to support RSPO through building on its standards and demonstrate that innovation is possible when implementing the RSPO standards and go beyond. We have been humbly bestowed the honor of being ranked as the most sustainably transparent palm oil company in the world for the past 2 years by the Zoological Society of London under the Sustainability Palm Oil Transparency Toolkit. Lastly, we've recently inaugurated a state-of-the-art refinery in our hometown of Santa Marta with the capacity to process 1,200 metric tons a day, allowing us to provide sustainable, segregated, natural, and organic oils to the large market players with low 3-MCPD and glycidyl ether values, which are very important in food safety today. All this work has been done not in the sole interest and pursuit of profits, but in the interest of the country's future and that of hundreds of families in the co-ops, including my own. The future of our children, mine and yours, is a sustainable future that we foresee. The United Nations defines sustainability as a development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability to future generations meet their own needs. So, why does this all matter? Why did my ancestors decide to take a path into RSPO or POIG? Well, it's as basic as the survival of our species. Our planet and our ability to ensure future generations to have a chance to feed themselves in a world of clean air and the same basic privileges we have enjoyed. I would like to share with you the following from the National Geographic channel. The Earth is alive. It breathes very, very slowly. One breath takes one whole year. Most forests are located in the northern hemisphere. And when spring comes to the north, it absorbs CO2, turning green, so the CO2 levels drop. When fall arrives, they drop their leaves and decay, exhaling the CO2 back into the atmosphere. The same thing happens in the southern hemisphere, but at the opposite time of the year. However, the southern hemisphere is mostly ocean, so it is the northern forests, the ones that control the CO2 levels in the world. This was first noticed in 1958 by oceanographer Charles Killing. He devised a way into actually measuring the levels of CO2. At the moment of the discovery, he saw a rapid rise in the CO2 levels, and unprecedented in the human history, one that has continued ever since. In fact, the Earth has seen nothing like it for millions of years. It has been going up steadily and rapidly. By burning coal, oil, and gas, our civilization is exhaling CO2 much faster than the Earth can absorb it. And to make it even harder to absorb, we're cutting down our jungles and forests for our own personal greed. But it's not too late. There's a future worth fighting for, and every one of us comes from a long line of survivors. Our species is nothing if not adaptive. It was only because our ancestors were thinking long-term that we're here at all. Thousands of years ago, our ancestors all over the world took advantage of another form of climate change, ice age, and thus they invented agriculture. You see, they gave up hunting and gathering that had been their way of life for thousands of years to settle down and produce food. People all over the world made the difficult transition from nomadic culture into agriculture. This gave rise to civilization. They changed their way of life to survive and thrive. Why shouldn't we? We stand on the shoulders of those who did the hard work. Now it's our turn. Today, we're one global civilization that comes together to realize that our old way of exploiting the earth come at a great risk. It all depends on what we truly value and if we can summon the will to act. And we have the power to act. At Daabon, we're doing everything to ensure we do our part in protecting our corner of the earth. The RSPO is a crucial and important part of the fight against climate change and social justice. I thank you all for allowing us to continue hand in hand and reaching our goal for a better future. Thank you very much. Lastly, I would like to leave you with a special video we actually produced for this event today to show you what Daabon looks like.
The future is bright, and it's a new day for a Daabon employee and food provider linked to the company thanks to the Smallholder Alliance program, a program that helps people improve their standard of living. The labors of the palm oil plantation recreate the history of families that come from agriculture and manual labor to thrive in life.
Mi nombre es Oscar Jiménez y llevo 9 años vinculado a la familia Daabon. Gracias a la forma en que Daabon ejecuta sus procesos, yo puedo realizar un trabajo más efectivo y eficiente, lo que nos permite cumplir con nuestros objetivos y crecer conjuntamente cada día más.
Yo me llamo Rafael Cherres, propietario de la finca La Beatriz. La alianza de Quetama nos hizo una invitación para el cultivo de palma y me ha ido muy bien con el cultivo de palma porque he ingresado, he arreglado mi casa. Tengo 13 años de estar en la alianza.
A new working group will have the opportunity to extract the oil and rich derivatives from the fruit, and hopefully this will continue from one generation to the next. Daabon believes in using 100% of its natural resources, and therefore compost is an important factor that differentiates the company from other palm oil producing companies. Our CDM process captures and generates greenhouse effect gases, being one of the few worldwide businesses that implement this clean development mechanism and provide us with our energy. It's time to share with the family after a productive workday. Thanks to Daabon, Colombia has fulfilled the commitment of sharing a product that is 100% quality guaranteed. Daabon, from the soil to the market.
Thank you very much for your attention.
ありがとうございました。コロンビアダーボングループよりマニュエル・アルベルト・ダビラ様よりご報告をいただきました。